What's up, everyone? It's your boy Freeze, and I'm here today in the Deceptilab to share another Art of War series video with you, particularly because there's this one base currently in the meta that I've seen just really cause people problems. So I'm going to show you a couple of real simple tricks that you can use to try to bypass it. So let me get to the battlefield, locate that base for you, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. So I'm on the playtest server, and I'm gonna try to some a couple attempts on my good buddy Brow, one of my fellow playtesters, who has a layout that I'm starting to see more commonly in the current meta. And before we even get started, I want to go take a look at a few specific things that you want to keep an eye out for. Now, what really makes this base difficult for a lot of players is as you can see, all of the resources are loaded in the front. This is a common tactic that is used particularly with really good players in top leagues, just because they're not particularly worried about resources during attacks throughout the week. Their sole focus is on concentrated fire at the top half of that base when you go up there and fight them in wars. So what happens in a lot of cases is because you're starting out with quite a bit of ability points, and most players, their natural tendency is to, as you fight through the base, you pick on a lot of these additional resources while you're taking down defenses, and you just gain more ability points to sustain you through the battle. In this particular case, you're gonna hit your 40 cap real early in most particular cases. So what I've decided to do is to actually try to bypass a lot of the resources, get the outpost and the outpost combiner popped, and I'll show you how to do that as I go in here and set up my team. Now, if you saw my last Art of War video, one of the things that you know that I started doing is I started using the block walk for the majority of my war attacks. In this particular case, as soon as I see all the resources sitting in the front, I actually started changing to Flame War. Now, the one I got on the test server, and it's not particularly high level. It's at level 61 right there. But here's the key piece. The key piece right here for you is that tactician core. Highly regarded as one of the worst cores in the game, but in situations like this, it becomes critical because it's going to prioritize defenses and outpost bots for up to 28 seconds after deployment. And this is just a silver level one, so you're not adding anything to it. You don't need to go in and add any additional time to that tactician core. Most of us have them if we haven't fused them already. So it makes it really easy for Flame War to just walk up the side of this base. So let's go ahead, head back to the battlefield, and we're gonna take a shot at this base. All right, guys, we're back on the battlefield. And so I'm going to lead off this attack with Flame War. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a delay. So what she's going to do is she's going to walk up. She's going to start actually gain some points from hitting the space bridge. Now, one thing I've noticed when I've seen this base, a lot of people aren't really using the MSMs up front. And so you're going to have to scout a little bit to make sure if you're actually in a war situation. But with Flame War, I get her to swing around, and she popped 3 out of the 4 outpost bots, the most dangerous ones being Twin Twist, um, Hot Rod, and it looks like Red Alert down there. So I'm actually taking some time off of their attacks. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to drop my team. Typically, there's not a lot of build bots or anything down here on this bottom half. So, for me, I've got Cutthroat on the team. I can use them to help me fight off some of these outpost bots in the combiner. And I also have on my bludgeon, I have that Micronus core. Now I don't want to get swooped here, so I'm gonna go ahead and bounce out with my combiner, and I'm gonna try to do as much damage as I can at the top half of this base. So I'm gonna start off with my ability, my 4-star ability, just to get him just kind of get him warmed up a little bit, get everything softened at the top. And typically what you're going to see, and I'll actually click over so you can see it, you're going to see that cluster kind of tucked away on the right hand side. Now, typically I try to take that cluster out early, but range is becoming an option, or becoming range is becoming a deterrent here. So I'm going to try to clear up as much on one side as I can. What that's going to allow me to do is going to allow me to path easier, and eventually what's going to happen is I'll be able to use my acid bots, because I got acid storm in there and blast off, to kind of take away some of the targets that we got up there. So I'm already almost in range for acid storm. I still got to fight off the outpost bots. And before I get into range for before I get in the range for that Leech Maximo core, I should be able to take this out. Now I'm going to use my Titan on the base here with the new Crimzik that's coming to the game. That should be close to getting it down. Then I'm going to come back with Acid Storm, and then that'll put me in a position, now that the acid is there for the anti-heal, to go and use Blast Off on the Leech Maximo. I also have my Headstrong here, and if I can get him just within range, I can use him out front to, oh, I took it down early. And I am saving so many ability points right now just by being slow and deliberate in my approach. I'm going to take out that last FFD. I'm going to throw down some cutthroat smoke. Make sure these guys get back into under some cover, and throw down, just for good measure, I'm going to throw down one of Hook's healing bombs. Now, at this point, because I use my attacks on the base, I'll bring Headstrong over to absorb some of that damage from where I lost my Titan battle. I've got Nemesis Prime to back me up as well, so I'll go ahead and throw him down there on Blast Off. And essentially, with the exception of my Sackbot and the split that I have down there with Cutthroat, the entire team is sitting up there surviving that battle. Easy, easy, easy. Mm. Now, I know the question is going to come up. Well, Freeze, what if I don't have Flame War or Afterbreaker? My answer would be simple as this. You're going to use whatever sackbot you got available to me. For me, I got a pretty high level Ramjet. I'm going to throw the Tactician Core on him, and I'm going to go right back in the battle against this base. And one of the drawbacks with Sack is you burn a lot of ability points up front. But in this case, all of those resource buildings are right down there on the bottom. So it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to recoup any of the points that you use from your sack. And I'm going to approach it the exact same way. I'm going to approach it from the left-hand side. And I'll take out the space bridge with Ramjet. And then I'll just come up here, I'll latch on to a Spider-Man there. And now I actually hit a Spider-Man on each side. And then I'll fly up to the top just to pop Twin Twist. And then I'll deploy my team, which will draw the outpost bots down to the bottom. I'm going to hang out to go throw down some cutthroat smoke, just to protect the team a little bit. And I'm going to wait until I can pop that fourth outpost before I go do anything in regards to deploying the combiner or anything. I'm going to use my abilities and take out some of these build bots, because I know the ones that had the FFDs are going to cause me problems in the long run. All right, Swoop is on the way out. Don't want to take additional damage and stun from him. And I'm going to take the exact same approach. I'm going to try to, this time I'm going to focus more on the FFDs. I know I'm going to need them late in the battle to be gone. So I'm going to find that second build bot, and that's going to be what I aim to take out early, while at the same time still advancing my play up the side of the battlefield. And so that way I'll be able to protect myself when I lose the Titan battle. Now I think I'll be able to get off one more ability, so I'm going to use that in the area of the shield generator along in combination with my Titan attack. And that should be a good enough combo to take it out once my Titan is not stunned anymore. Looks like it didn't take it out. I'll throw Acid Storm down, and that should clear it out. And once it's clear, I'm going to use Blast Off to start attacking my Shock Tower that has the Leech Maximo on it. So just wait for that shield generator to go down. And it's really about prioritizing your targets that are going to cause you problems. So now I'm just going to, so you see, I got a lot of ability points right now still. I've got rid of my FFD, so I'm going to go up there to the mortar with bludgeon. My team is splitting a little bit, so I'm going to go use Nemesis Prime over there on blast off. I'm going to throw down some cutthroat smoke, hopefully protect bludgeon a little bit and let the team catch up to him a little bit. Now the Titan just lost his battle, so I'm going to have bludgeon latch on to this beam laser. I'm going to throw down cutthroat smoke for the next zone. And it's gonna be a tougher battle down the stretch. You know, I let looks like I let Brawl get away from me a little bit, but I'm gonna have plenty left over to take down the HQ using an alternate SAT method as long as you use that tactician core. So now let's check one other way that we could approach this base that doesn't involve SAC. Now, as far as non-sack options, I actually want to borrow an idea from one of my buddies back in Eternal Order, one of my old alliances. So shout out to Ninky Nunk for putting me onto this particular tactic. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to go back into my comfort zone, and I'm going to throw block back up there into the mix so that I can go for the block walk. But what I'm also going to do, and this is the part that he really put me on to, was to go use Trigger Happy because he's just got extraordinary range. We're going to burn some ability points because he's got a cost of 8+2. However, I'm going to recoup those ability points as I go along through my battle. So let's take a look at that and see how that works in battle. This is actually my first time trying it. I don't have Trigger Happy on my live account, so I have to use all the shorter range options on my actual account. Now in this case, we know we're gonna drop the team low. I don't drop the whole team because I'm not really in any danger of fall into any outpost spots. So here I'm just gonna try to take the cluster that's up there in the front with Trigger Happy once I can get in range. And I'm just gonna try to start just working up that left side, the same side I deployed on. And because I got Acid Storm, you can realistically you can use that as a nice combo as well. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Swoop, and I'm gonna have him focus his fire on the block decoy. Now I got Red Alert in this case, so I know the damage is gonna be greatly reduced. Team's got a little splitting going on, so I'm gonna fire off Blast Off. And I want to make sure I take out that build bot. Now in this case, I'm taking a little bit of damage here from Swoop. Nothing too crazy at the moment, and he should be coming down soon. So we'll reassess at that point. Now I've got 40 ability points here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot Bludgeon out there to the front. Blast Off is running away again, so I'm going to throw something down for him. And now the Combiner's coming out. I actually pressed a little bit too early, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Actually, no, I pressed it on time. And I'm going to end up running that same tactic. I'm going to try to see if I can use that 4-star ability, get myself in range to make another attack on the shield generator and see how that goes. Really, that whole shielded cluster, because of the area that Galvatronus covers, and it looks like it's not going to work this time because of the healing. So I can follow up as I get back in range with Acid Storm to stop some of that healing. I don't have any FFDs right now, so I'm gonna throw down the Cutthroat Smoke again. And now I'm back in range for Acid Storm, right in time for me to get my Titan ability. I'll combo it, and I'll wait again for that to come down. I'll use Blast Off to kind of pick apart that Liege Maximo. And I got rid of the Shock Tower, so I'm going to start my next layer, Cutthroat Smoke. I'm going to go get Bludgeon off to that right side again to eat up some of that damage from the MDS. Now, I didn't do a good job of getting Twin Twist pop this time because I didn't sack. So I'm going to go throw Nemesis Prime's ability at Bludgeon. Twin Twist is going to stay engaged with him that entire time. My team's going to catch back up. And I'm losing a couple of bots here, but most of the damage is done. I'm going to throw down another layer of Cutthroat Smoke just to make sure as an insurance policy. And this is actually faster. The Titan hasn't even lost a battle yet, so I'm going to use an ability of the Titan against the Titan. But realistically speaking, and I still lose that battle. But right now, I've got protection from Cutthroat. I've got protection from Bludgeon. I got to get Twin Twist down. But right now, it's looking pretty good. And yeah, that base is going to come down. So shout out to Dinky Dunk for that, man. Like he actually came up with a really, really good strategy just based off of range alone. And it worked out pretty good. All right, let's head back to the lab again and kind of review everything we covered. All right, guys, and welcome back to the lab. And today, like I said, when you see those resources in the front, it's easy to just go use Flame War with the Tac Core or whatever sack bot you can come up with the Tac Core. There are some players out here that will, because they know people are using that Tac Core, they will actually stick other defenses up front. In those cases, and I'm not going to show this one on video just quite yet, but in those cases, there's nothing wrong with running a delayed sack, so you can pull off that exact same tactic with Flame War. You just got to go take out whatever defense is there first, because Flame War is gonna prioritize that, or whatever sack bot you use is gonna prioritize that. But that's all I got for you guys this time. Hey, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe, and also check me out on my live streams each week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you guys then, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Freezius out.